Welcome to this session of Materials Engineering. Myself, Anirban Sarkar, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering of JIS College of Engineering, Kolkata. Today's session, we will discuss about that hardness testing of material. So this hardness testing comes under module number 2, that is mechanical properties of material. Learning outcome: after going through this session, one can understand the importance of hardness testing in research and development and industrial purposes. So first of all, before we are starting, we need to define what is called hardness. Hardness of metal and alloy is a complex property and depends upon other properties such as grain size, yield strength, tensile strength, ductility, work hardening coefficient, resistance to abrasion, etc. Various methods are used for measuring the hardness, and each method is based on different principles. So in this schematic diagram, it is shown a hardness testing machine of Rockwell and Brinell hardness. So both type of hardness we can do. So in this test stage, jobs are seated. The jobs need to be flat enough to do the test. The indenters are fastening in the indenter fastening screw. Depending on the hardness that we are going to be tested, different indenters can be set. After that, with the key panel, we need to set the job, and by power cable, etc., or the lever, power cable or with the lever, we can give the load. After some time, you have to remove the load, and after that, we need to measure the hardness of the material by seeing the dial gauge, or in some cases we need to calculate the area of indentation, and a formalized section is there so that we can go for measuring the hardness in the different method. So as we have discussed, that hardness is a metal and alloy is a complex property and depends upon other properties such as grain size, yield strength, tensile strength, ductility, work hardening coefficient, resistance to abrasion, etc. The hardness of metal or alloy may be defined in one or more of the following forms. First of all, indentation hardness. It is the resistance offered by metal to indentation, which mainly a measures of plasticity and density. Rebound hardness. It is the resistance offered by the metals to strike and rebound, which is principally measurement of elastic properties. Scratch hardness. It is the resistance offered by metals to scratching, which is principally a measure of strength and plastic properties. Cutting hardness. It is the resistance of metals to various cutting operations. Abrasive hardness. It is the resistance of metal to wear subjected to sliding or rotating motion. The various hardness testing methods are based on one of the above principles. These testing machines are widely used in the field of research and industry. So the first of all, we will discuss about that Brinell hardness test. Standard Brinell hardness test is conducted as per ASTM E10 or IS 1500 specifications. For testing of iron and steel, a load of 3000 kg is applied on a 10 millimeter diameter ball indenter for at least 10 seconds, and for non-ferrous metals and alloys, a load of 500 kg is applied on the same indenter for at least 30 seconds. The loads are gradually applied by means of hydraulic mechanism. The ball indenters are made of either high carbon steel or tungsten carbide. After full application of load for the above times, the load is slowly removed. The indenter is taken out and the diameter of the circular impression is measured by a special microscope which is known as Brinell microscope. This measuring instrument magnifies the image, and with the calibrated grid provided in the eyepiece, measuring of diameter is done with an accuracy of 0.01 millimeter. The Brinell hardness number or BHN for a particular load is calculated, that is load applied in kg divided by area of indentation in square millimeter, where the D is the from the diameter of the projected impression as shown in the figure. In case of Brinell hardness test, the area of indentation can be calculated as follows. So in this figure as shown, the D is the diameter of the indenter, small d diameter of projected circular impression, and H is equal to depth of penetration due to application of load P. Now, from the measurement principle as shown in figure, the surface area of a segment of sphere is equal to pi dh. In figure, h is equal to d by 2 minus x. Again, from the right angle triangle, that is OCB, we can find d by 2 square equal to x square plus small d by 2 whole square. Now, from this we can find x value equal to root over of capital D square minus small d square by 2. So, the small h from this we can find out that is capital D by 2 minus root over of capital D square minus small d square by 2, as x is equal to root over capital D square minus small d square divided by 2. Therefore, the surface area of a segment will be equal to pi dh is equal to pi d into d minus root over capital D square minus small d square divided by 2. This is the area of indentation. Now, BHN is equal to load applied by area of indentation. So, we can write that is BHN is equal to 2P divided by pi d into capital D minus root over of capital D square minus small d square, where D is the capital D is the diameter of the indenter and small d is the diameter of the projected circular impression on the job. The applied load is in kg and area of indentation is in square millimeter. So test procedure for this purpose, for this Brinell hardness test, the indenter is pressed into a sample by an accurately controlled test force. The force is maintained for a specific dwell time, normally 10 to 15 seconds. After the dwell time is completed, the indenter is removed, leaving a round indent in the sample. The size of the indent is determined optically by measuring two diagonals of the round indent using either a portable microscope, that is called Brinell microscope, or that is integrated with the load application devices. Number 5, the Brinell hardness number is a function of test force divided by curved surface area of the indent. The indentation is considered to be spherical with a radius equal to half the diameter of the ball. The average of two diagonals is used in the following formula to calculate the Brinell hardness number. The drawbacks of this Brinell hardness test is, first of all, large size of the ball and high loads, impressions are larger. These impressions may decrease the useful life of the component. The ball indenter is likely to deform while testing hard materials. This increases the diameter of impression and gives lower hardness number. Thin materials cannot be tested because of large depth penetrations. For some materials like lead, tin, magnesium, etc., ringing or piling up effect is observed, and for few others like austenite, stainless steel and manganese steel, sinking effect is observed. Piling up denotes a low capacity for work hardening, while sinking denotes a high capacity of work hardening. Due to this, the measured diameter of impression is larger than the actual diameter, and BHN calculated is less than the actual hardness of the material. So, as shown in these following figures, the piling up and sinking effects are shown. The advantages of this test is for certain materials in which hardness varies from point to point, but on average, the hardness is less. A large sized indenter is useful, which covers more area of the materials and allows to measure average hardness. In this respect, Brinell hardness test is useful for measuring hardness of cast component, heterogeneous material like cast iron, and porous powder metallurgy component. Next is here relationship between Brinell hardness number and ultimate tensile strength. There is a close relationship between the ultimate tensile strength of a metal and its Brinell hardness number. This relationship has been established for certain materials by experimental work and is expressed by an equation. The equation and the constant involved in this equation are different for different material and depends on their microstructural conditions. These relationships for plain carbon steel and gray cast irons are given below. For a plain carbon steel in normalized or annealed condition, the UTS, that is measured in kg per mm square, is equal to 0.36 multiplied into BHN number, that is Brinell hardness number. The plain carbon steel in hardened and tempered condition, the UTS is equal to 0.32 into BHN. For gray cast iron, the UTS is 1.28 into 10 to the power minus 3 into BHN to the power 1.85. Next, that is the Rockwell hardness testing. In this method, hardness of metal is correlated with the depth of indentation and not with the area of the indentation, as in case of Brinell hardness and Vickers hardness test method. Harder materials, depth of indentation is less for a given load and vice versa. Hence, hardness is invariably proportional to the depth of indentation. The dial is calibrated in an inverse fashion so that the hardness number became directly proportional to the hardness of the material. So in this test, two types of indenters are used. One is hard steel ball of diameter 1 by 16th inch or 1 by 8th or 1 by 4th or 1 by half of the diameter, half inch diameter, or braille indenter made of diamond in the form of a cone with included angle of 120 degrees. The tip of the indenter is accurately ground to a radius of 0.2 millimeter. Loads are applied in two stages. First, constant minor loads of 10 kg is applied and then major load is applied. The major loads are 60, 100 or 150 kg. The various combinations of indenters and loads are indicated by letter A, B, C, etc. The complete list is given in following tables. Letter indicates 60 kg loads. Letter A indicates 60 kg load and braille indenter. Letter B indicates 100 kg load and 1/16 inch diameter steel ball indenter. Letter C indicates 150 kg load and braille indenter and so on. Few applications of each of the scale are given in the table. So this is the scale symbol for various combinations of loads and ball diameter. For a indenter, that is cone indenter braille, that is major load is 60 kg, 100 kg and 150 kg. For A category, that D and C category, the cone indenter of the following loads can be applied for diamond cone indenter. For 1/16 inch ball, the F scale, B scale and G scale correspondingly 60, 100 and 50 kg loads are applied. For 1/8 inch ball, H, E, K scale with 60, 100 and 150 kg major loads are applied. The 1/4 inch ball, L, M, P with major load of 60, 100 and 50 kg respectively are applied. And for half inchy ball, R, S, V scale 60, 100 and 150 kg loads are applied. However, one should select a proper scale suitable for the hardness, thickness and structural conditions of that components. The guidelines for the proper selection of scale is shown. For component of thin component, low load scale to be used, that is low load such as 60 kg. For thick component, high load such as 150 kg. For hard component condition, braille indenters are used. For soft material, 1/16 inch steel diameter ball is used. For very soft material, 1/8 inch diameter or 1/4 inch diameter ball, steel indenter balls are used. And for very soft material, half inch diameter steel ball is used. So here standard Rockwell hardness scale and their application, that is minor load is 10 kgs are given. The following symbols, that is B scale, C scale and A and D scale are used extensively in the industry. The other scales are also used and it is not shown here, that is without due to that time consideration. For B scale, the indenter is 1/16 inch steel diameter ball, which is equal to 1.6 millimeter. The load here applied 100 kg. The dial numbers that we need to be see, that is red dial, and applications, that is brass, low and medium carbon steel in annealed or normalized condition, aluminum alloy, soft cast iron and cast steel. Scale B, which use diamond cone indenter or major load 150 kg. The dial indicator we need to see, that is the black scale. And application is hardened steel, hard cast iron, deep cast hardening steel. For scale A, braille, that is diamond cone indenter, major load 60 kg. The black scale we need to see. Typical applications, hard thin materials like razor blades, shallow case hardened steel, case carburized surface, cemented carbide, etc. material can be measured the hardness. For scale D, again the indenter is braille type. Major load here applied is 100 kg. Scale we need to be see black. Medium case hardened steel, we can measure the hardness of the material. Test procedure for the rock coil hardness test. First, the indenter is pressed with a test pre-force, that is also referred to as pre-force or preload or minor load, to a penetration of depth of H0 in the specimen to be tested. H0 is defined as shown in figure, the reference level for subsequent measurement of the indentation depth H. Next, additional test force is applied for a dual period defined in accordance with the standard, whereby the indenter presents into the specimen to a maximum indentation depth of H1. The test procedure plus the additional test force gives the total test force, that is also referred to as total force or the main load or the major load. After the dual period, the additional test force is removed. The indenter moved up by the elastic proportion of the penetration depth in the total test force and remains at the level of the residual indentation depth. This is also referred to as the depth differential. Now, the rock coil hardness can be calculated using the residual indentation depth and a formula defined in the standard taking account of the applied rock coil scale. The advantages of this rock coil hardness test is, since both type of indenters are used, that is steel ball and diamond cone, it combines the advantages of Brinell and Vickers hardness test and also eliminates the drawbacks of this test. Thick as well as thin material can be tested. The hardness number is obtained directly on the dial and hence is free from personal error. Surface condition of the component to be tested is not critical because the hardness number is correlated to the difference of depth from minor load to major load. Less skilled operator can check the hardness. The test is very fast and requires less than a minute to an experiment. Now next is, that is Vickers hardness test. So here is shown, that is a schematic diagram of the Vickers hardness test. Vickers hardness tester works on the same principle as Brinell hardness tester, and the way of expression hardness is also similar. Vickers indenters is made of diamond in the form of square base pyramid with an included angle of 136 degree between the opposite faces. This 136 degree angle choose because it corresponds to the most desirable ratio of indentation diameter to the ball diameter of 0.375 in Brinell hardness test. Loads to be applied are in ranges of 1 to 120 kg. For case hardened components, 1 and 2.5 kg loads are suitable, whereas for most of the other materials, loads from 10 to 40 kg are suitable. For cast iron and cast components, higher loads are desirable. The test procedure is similar to that of Brinell. the hardness tester is semi-automatic in operation, in which after the specimen surface is brought close to the indenter, the present load is applied for some definite time and the load is removed automatically. The loads are slowly applied to avoid errors due to inertia effects. The time of load application and load duration can be controlled and between 10 to 30 seconds. After an impression has been made on the test surface, the diagonals of square impressions are measured by a special measuring microscope. Alternatively, the impression can be projected at a magnified scale on a focusing screen and diagonals can be measured. From the measured diagonal, area of indentation can be calculated. Here, the Vickers hardness number, that is VHN, is equal to P by A, where P is the load in kg and area of indentation A is in square millimeter. So figure of Vickers projected impressions are shown here. Let D is the diagonal of the square impression, X is the side of square impression, S is the slant height and alpha is the included angle. So now from this figure it is clear that 2x square is equal to d square and x is equal to d by root over 2, or x by 2 we can write d by 2 root 2. Now sine alpha by 2 is equal to d by 2 root 2 by s, and therefore s is equal to d by 2 root 2 sine alpha by 2. Area of the triangle now we can measure d by root 2 into d by 2 root 2 sine alpha by 2 into half. Therefore, now it becomes d square by 8 sine alpha by 2. Therefore, total area of all four triangles, that is 4 into d square by 8 sine alpha by 2 is equal to d square by 2 sine alpha by 2. So VHN is equal to P by d square by 2 sine alpha by 2. Now we know that here alpha value is 136 degree. So VHN is equal to 1.85 by 1.854 P by d square. In this test, the depth of penetration is approximately equal to d by 7. The surface should be smooth and free from oxide, dirt and defects because the impressions are very small. It is recommended that thickness of piece should be at least 1.5 times the diagonal of the impression. Next is procedure. In order to determine the Vickers hardness, the pyramid-shaped indenter with interfacial angle of 136 degree is pressed into a specimen, that is workpiece, with a definite test load between 10 kilogram force to 10 gram force to 100 kgf. The Vickers test results from the quotient of the applied test force and the surface area of the residual indent of this specimen. To calculate the surface area, the residual pyramidal indentation, the average of two diagonals is used. Because the base area of Vickers indents is frequently not exactly square. Ideally, the test force is increased from 0 to its final value within 5 to 8 seconds. The maximum permissible interval for application time from the standard is 2 to 8 seconds. In the Vickers test method, the indents must be positioned such that there is sufficient clearance from the specimen edge and between the individual indents. Now, the advantages, disadvantages of this test. The advantages is that the impressions are smaller because of small size of indenter. This does not damage or reduce the life of the component. Hence, this test is suitable for finished components. Since the indenter is made of diamond, it does not deform under testing of hard materials. For any load of testing, the contact angle remains same, that is 136 degree. Because of pyramidal geometry of indenter, as a result, the impression on different materials or on the same materials with different loads are geometrically similar, and hence VHN is independent of load. The disadvantages are that because of small size of indenter, the test is not recommended to measure the hardness of heterogeneous material, cast component, and porous powder metallurgy component. The test demand good polish on the surface. To attain such a polish, more time is required. The test is slow and subjected to personal errors. Now, there is a relationship between the Vickers and Brinell hardness number. So, these Vickers and Brinell hardness, they are almost identical, as shown in this figure, is up to 300 numbers. Beyond this, the two curves slowly diverge, and the diversity in significant beyond above 600 number. This departure of Brinell curve is due to the deformation of ball indenter at high hardness value. Vickers curve is almost linear due to practically no distortion of diamond indenter at this hardness level. Because of this, Vickers test became suitable for measuring hardness to any materials of any hardness, that is, from very soft to very hard material is tested under Vickers hardness tester. However, Brinell test is not recommended for testing materials of hardness above 400 numbers. Since the impressions are shallow, thin materials can be tested in Vickers hardness test, and this method is also suitable for measuring hardness of surface hardness component or plated component to measure the hardness of surface and plated layer. Less load, that is 1 or 2.5 kg, should be applied for superficial surface readings. So with this, we are concluding this session. These are the references that taken. Thank you for joining this session.